Hello and welcome to the Real Women of Philadelphia. I'm Cornelia Hicks, and today we're talking about appetizers. Now, I grew up in Poughkeepsie, New York, and Portland, Oregon, two very different cities. So whenever I throw a party or a get-together, I like to mix things up in order to appeal to a broad variety of palates in terms of taste, textures, colors, and variety. So today we're making Eastern wraps, and what's going to distinguish these wraps is the Philadelphia cream cheese. For this recipe, you'll need hickory smoked bacon, ciabatta bread, seaweed wraps, Philadelphia cream cheese, salmon, cold rice, julienned carrots and cucumbers, some fresh garlic, ginger, and for our garnish, we'll use fennel, eggs, and pickled ginger, as well as soy sauce and teriyaki. Let's get going. First off, we want to chop up the bacon. So we're going to chop, we have 4 or 5 strips here. I'm just going to take 4 of them, chop them up. And we're really just going to give this some flavor for the cream cheese. Okay, now I'm going to cut up some fennel. Just want to chop it up so that the pieces aren't too big. It's about a teaspoon worth of fennel here, fresh fennel from the garden. And then I have a bowl of Philadelphia cream cheese. It's about 8 ounces, and I want to take a teaspoon of fresh ginger, a quarter of a teaspoon of fresh garlic, and add it to my cream cheese. I've got a half a teaspoon of poppy seed, which is going to give it some color. And I'm just going to fork all of this together. And you see how pretty the poppy seed looks with the cream cheese, a nice contrast. Okay, that's pretty mixed up. Now we're going to add the fennel and the bacon. I've done it on a chopping board, which I can move to the edge of my countertop and just sweep the stuff into my bowl here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and blend the bacon together with the fennel. Now you can see that the fennel gives it a nice, pretty color. Now I cooked my rice and bacon the night before in order to chill my rice and so that the bacon wasn't too hot to the touch in the morning. Now I want to take half of my mixture and put it in a bowl. So I'm just going to use a spatula, cut down the middle, and scoop out half of it. I'm going to put that over there. Okay. So now we're going to take half of our mixture and begin smoothing it on each of the ciabatta bread slices, which, by the way, I toasted earlier. We just want to make sure everyone gets a slice of this and that it all has fairly good coverage on each of the bread slices. Take one of the seaweed sheets, put it down. I have a bowl of water set aside. That allows me to sprinkle it a little bit in order for it to just have a little bit of moisture. So I've taken some cold rice, and I'm going to mix about a cupful into the cream cheese. Blend it in, just mix it up a little bit so that the rice is holding the cream cheese mixture. And the key to the wrap is to put the rice mixture in the middle and making sure that you leave at least a quarter of an inch on both sides. So we're just going to press that down with our fingers. And if your hands are wet, it will roll off much better. Okay, but you don't want it too wet because you don't want too much moisture in your seaweed. Just enough to allow your fingers to spread this mixture out a little bit. Okay, then we're going to indent the rice in order to accommodate some of the other ingredients that we're going to put in. So I've kind of built a canal here in the rice mixture. With that, I'm going to take some of my salmon, and these are Atlantic salmon trappings. They're a little bit more affordable than if I had bought filet. So even though the economy is tight, you can still have a delicious appetizer. And the salmon tastes the same, whether they're trimmings or whether they're their fillets. So you take some salmon, take a couple pieces of the carrots, and notice that I'm letting some of my carrots hang out towards the edge of the roll. Okay, just a few strips. I want to take a bit of the cucumber, then I'm going to slice it down the middle. Beautiful. Mmm, tasty. And I'm going to take a potato peeler and just julienne it. Okay, just a few. All right. And I'm going to let some of the cucumber hang out at the end. And then I'm just going to lightly wet the edge of the paper. Taking this, and I'm going to roll it. Just tucking back and rolling. There. Take a little more water if you see your edges aren't sticking, and tuck them under. And then just press down on the side that's holding the water and let it dry a little bit. Okay, now while that's doing that, I'm going to go back to my ciabatta bread toast. Now, I'm just going to take a bit of my salmon, about a tablespoon each, and start piling it on my toast with my cream cheese mixture. Okay, now that we have that going, remember I had you set aside some bacon. We now need that bacon. We're going to use the bacon to garnish these with. So, I've garnished these with a little bit of the bacon. Okay, so now we're going to go over and we're going to put them on our serving tray. We placed it on the tray, as you can see, and we're going to go out and get our garnishment. Before we do that, we want to go back and slice or cut, and I tend to slice, the sushi wrap. There's one. And you want to have a close cloth nearby to cut in case it's sticking or in case you have food on the knife after you cut, which I know you will. Okay. Now, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're going to put these on our tray. Have one here. Let's do that there. We've got another one. And finally, we have another one here. Okay. Now, these are appetizers that will please any guest, whether they're from the East or the West. Let's do a taste test. That is good. That little kick of wasabi really adds a nice touch. That's good. If you didn't get the recipe, don't worry. Go to realwomenofphiladelphia.com where you can download it. For the Real Women of Philadelphia, I'm Cornelia Hicks. Here's an appetizer that you're sure to love.